Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Today we'll go over the baseball results from yesterday, look ahead to today's games. I'll do my picks for round one of the WNBA playoffs, and then I will pick the games for tonight. Soccer, we'll go over all the notable results, look at today's games. We have the Fortinet Championship that we have to make a pick for, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start baseball because there's no football. A lot of results to go over from yesterday. Look ahead to today's games. Doubleheader game 1, Yankees over the Red Sox 3-2-11. Doubleheader game 1, White Sox over the Royals 6-2. Cards over the O's 5-2, so best bet was a loser. Pirates over the Nats 5-1. Braves over the Phillies 7-6-10. Reds over the Tigers 6-5-10. Rangers over the Blue Jays 6-3. D-backs over the Mets over the D-backs 7-4. Doubleheader game 2, Yankees over the Red Sox 4-1, so the Yankees get the doubleheader sweep in Fenway. Brewers over the Marlins 3-1. Twins over the Rays 3-2. Royals over the White Sox 11-10. Doubleheader game 2, as that was a split doubleheader. A's over the Astros 6-2, so the A's win in Houston again. Rockies over the Cubs 6-4, so that's what I should have got with best bet. Mariners over the Angels 8-0. Guardians over the Giants 3-1. And the Dodgers over the Padres 11-2. All right. Now, today's games. 1 o'clock MLB Network. You have the Rays at the Twins. Taj Bradley and Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel's been mediocre since getting picked up by the Twins a couple of months ago. The Rays are minus 130. The Twins are plus 110 over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 130. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 156. I like the over a lot. Next up, 3 o'clock Cubs Rockies. Jamison Tyon and Ty Black. Cubs minus 172. Rockies plus 144 over under 11.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Chicago minus 1.5 is minus 115. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 104. That's a tough one. I'm not a big Jamison Tyon fan, as you guys know. I'm going to go over 5.5 Rocky runs plus 114. 345 Guardians Giants, Logan Allen and Kyle Harrison. Giants minus 126. Guardians plus 108 over under 8, minus 110 each way. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 184. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 152. I like the over. 4 o'clock, the Angels at the Mariners. TBD, Luis Castillo. That game is not posted yet. And I would lean Mariner run line. 6:30, Cards O's. Drew Rom and Kyle Gibson. O's minus 168. Cardinals plus 142 over under 9.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 137. O's minus 1.5 is plus 114. I like the over. Nats Pirates. Jackson Routledge making his big league debut against Colin Selby. Pirates minus 134. Nats plus 114 over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 188. Pirates minus 1.5 is plus 155. I'm going to take the Nats at plus 114 to win outright. Braves Phillies. Spencer Strider and Chris Sanchez. Braves minus 176. Phillies plus 148 over under 9. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Braves minus 1.5 and Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 110 each way. I'm taking the Phillies plus 1.5 minus 110. I think that game's close. If not, the Phillies win outright. Reds Tigers. A ton of 6:30 games. Connor Phillips and Eduardo Rodriguez. Tigers minus 146. Reds plus 124 over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 162. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 134. For this one, I'm going to go under 3.5 Reds runs at minus 102 because Eduardo Rodriguez has been pretty good this year. 7 o'clock, you have the Rangers at the Blue Jays. Jordan Montgomery against Yusei Kikuchi. Jays minus 118. Rangers even money. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 162. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 200. Rangers favor on the run line. Jays favor on the money line. I'm actually going to take the Jays on the money line at minus 118. I like how Kikuchi's turned it around. Yankees, Red Sox. Yankees going for the sweep. Clark Schmidt and Tanner Houck. Red Sox minus 126. Yankees plus 108. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 184. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 152. I like the over. Don't feel good about it, though. D-backs, Mets. Zach Gallen and Joey Lucchesi. D-backs minus 152. Mets plus 128. Over under 8.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. D-backs minus 1.5 is plus 116. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 140. The under's juiced. So, for this one, I'm going to go over 4.5 Diamondback runs, minus 111. A's, Astros. Paul Blackburn and Hunter Brown. Astros minus 260. A's plus 215. Over under 9. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. A's plus 1.5 is plus 106. Astros minus 1.5 is minus 128. This is a hard one, but I'm going with the under. And I don't feel good about it. 7:30, Royals, White Sox. Steven Cruz and Mike Clevenger. White Sox minus 164. Royals plus 138. Over under 8. Minus 110 each way. And the money line just changed. White Sox are now minus 162. The Royals are plus 136. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 162. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 134. That's an interesting one. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. Marlins, Brewers. Braxton Garrett and Trevor McGill. Marlins minus 110. Brewers minus 106. Over under 8. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 158. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 192. I'm surprised the Brewers are not favored, so I'm going to take them minus 106. They're playing really good baseball right now. And then 10 o'clock, the Padres and the Dodgers. Blake Snell, Ryan Papuai. Dodgers minus 134. Padres plus 116. Over under 9. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 178. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 146. Blake Snell's the favorite for the NL Cy Young. So, there's a good possibility he doesn't win it. It's Zach Gallen or Justin Steele or somebody like that. So, over 4.5 Dodger runs at minus 106 is a very interesting pick if you want to fade or continue to fade Blake Snell for the Cy Young. All right, now I'm going to do my picks for WNBA round 1, best of 3. So, the playoff format is the same as last year. Because obviously we had the double bye 2 years ago. That is no more. So, round 1 is best of 3. The semifinals are best of 5, and the finals are best of 5. So, it all begins tonight. So, we'll start at the top of the bracket. You have the Aces and the Sky. Best player in the series is Aja Wilson. She's really good. The Aces have been aces all season long. Becky Hammond's done a fabulous job with this team. Chicago, I feel like underperformed a little bit this year, but they got it together. Clea Cooper has had a good season as Marina Mabry and Courtney Williams. The Aces, as we know, super team. They have Wilson, they have Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. That's their big 4. Series pick, I'm going to say the Aces sweep Chicago. They're better than the Sky. And I think that the Sky are a team that just doesn't have it this year. So I'm going to go with the Aces as a sweep. All right, the winner of that series plays the winner of the Wings Dream Series. The Wings are the 4 seed. The Dream are the 5 seed. I think this is going to be a pretty decent series. So the best player in the series, to me, it's Rike Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings. She's really good. And she's someone that's going to be starting this league for a long time. Dallas is actually pretty deep. They have her. They have Satu Sabali, Natasha Howard, and Tiara McCowan. Atlanta, they have Cheyenne Parker, but their best player is Ryan Howard. They also have Alicia Gray on their team. So the Dream are a very top-heavy team, and the Wings are just a deep team. Ogunbowale, best player in the series. I think this is a 3-gamer, so I'm going to say Dallas in 3. All right, the bottom half of the bracket. The 2 seed New York Liberty against the 7 seed Washington Mystics. I wish the Liberty were playing somebody else. Elena Delle Donne scares me. She has the capability of being the best player in the series, but the best player in the series is Brianna Stewart, obviously. And the second best player in the series is either Elena Delle Donne or Sabrina Ionescu, depending on how you feel about Elena Delle Donne, who I think is awesome. So, Stewart, Ionescu, you have Venetia Laney, you have Jonquel Jones, you have Courtney Vandersloot. The Liberty are absolutely loaded. That's their big 5, averaging in double figures per game. Obviously, Delle Donne did miss about half of the season with that injury. But technically, their leading scorer has been Brittany Sykes, Natasha Cloud, and Ariel Atkins. So, it's a deep team, too. Shakira Austin. So, yeah, I think the Liberty got a bad draw here, getting the Mystics. And, quite frankly, they would be better off playing the Lynx. But I do think the Liberty will win the series. But it won't be easy. I think Washington takes 1. So I'm going to go Liberty in 3. And then you have the 3 seed, the Connecticut Sun, against the 6 seed, Minnesota Lynx. The best player in this series, you could argue DeWanna Bonner. And you can argue Nafisa Collier. And I'm going to say it's Collier. Collier's a better player than Bonner at this point. And then you have Diamond Miller and Kayla McBride on the Lynx. And on the other side, with Connecticut, you have Bonner, you have Alyssa Thomas, and Tiffany Hayes. They obviously lost Brianna Jones for the season, which was a big loss. I think this is going to be an interesting series, too. And I think Minnesota could potentially be live to win this series. And that's good news for the Liberty. And I think that the Liberty should be playing the Lynx right now instead of the Mystics, because I think the Mystics are awesome. But I'm going to go with one underdog pick in the series, and I'm going to say the Lynx upset the Sun in 3 games. Collier, best player in the series. The loss of Brianna Jones for Connecticut, I think, will bite him here. Although Connecticut can still win the series, but got to go with an upset somewhere, but I just can't go against the Liberty. That'd be wrong of me to do that as somebody that is heavily invested in New York sports all the time and a big fan of Stewie. So I am going to go with the Lynx in 3 games for a monumental upset. And now the betting picks for tonight for the WNBA. We will start with the Lynx and the Sun tonight. 8 o'clock, ESPN 2. Should be an awesome game. Awesome series. If I had to have a projection in my head, I'd say 8. The line's 9.5. Total's 158.5. I like the over, although I like the Lynx too. So I'm gonna say the over, and I think the Lynx are live at plus 360. I'd parlay if they allowed me to do same game for the WNBA. I would do the Lynx and the over, but maybe it was the round robin, the Lynx with a couple of the baseball underdogs, and then find some in soccer too. And at 10 o'clock tonight on ESPN, you have the Sky and the Aces. 16.5 would be my projected line. That's what it is, or 16. Total's 170.5. I think Chicago covers game 1. I just think the pressure's on the Aces, so I'm going to take Chicago getting the 16.5 just to cover the point spread. All right, now we'll move on to soccer. We will go over notable results from yesterday and look ahead to notable soccer for today. So we had the World Cup qualifying yesterday. Argentina over Bolivia 3-0. Ecuador over Uruguay 2-1. Venezuela over Paraguay 1-0. Chile, Colombia 0-0 draw. Brazil over Peru 1-0. And then CONCACAF qualifying. We also had yesterday, so I want to talk about that really quick. Belize over French Guiana 2-0. St. Vincent over Bermuda 4-3. Cuba over Suriname 1-0. Dominica over Turks and Caicos 3-0. Guyana over the Bahamas 3-2. Puerto Rico over Antigua and Barbuda 5-0. Jamaica, Haiti 2-2 draw. Honduras over Grenada 4-0. And then UEFA Euro Championship qualifying. Belgium over Estonia 5-0. Israel over Belarus 1-0. Italy over Ukraine 2-1. North Macedonia over Malta 2-0. Norway over Georgia 2-1. Romania over Kosovo 2-0. Spain over Cyprus 6-0. Austria over Sweden 3-1. Switzerland over Andorra 3-0. And in Africa Cup of Nations qualifying, Cameroon over Burundi 3-0. All right, so we have USL tonight, actually. 10:30, you have Vegas and El Paso. I'm sure the odds are up for this one. And they are. Vegas is plus 140, El Paso plus 150, draw plus 260. I'm going to go to Vegas at home at plus 140. And then also today, you have the Saudi Pro League. I know that's tomorrow. Never mind. So that's really it for notable soccer. There's less soccer than I thought, and there's no MLS today. No MLS until Saturday. All right, now we'll do some golf. We have not talked golf on the podcast in a couple of weeks because they had a couple weeks off. Now they're back at it with the Fortinet Championship. It all gets underway tomorrow morning. I'm going to go over the tee times, and I'll make a pick. 9:55, Carson Young, Sean O'Hare, B.U. Hostler, Paul Haley. And now we're just going to do notable tee times. 10:06, Wesley Bryan, Harrison Endicott, D8 points. Ricky Barnes, Dylan Fratelli. 10:17, Tyson Alexander, Will Gordon, TJ Tran. Davis Lipsky, Ryan Palmer, Kevin Chappell. 10:28, Joel Dahman, Camp Champ, Grayson Ego, Evan Van Royen, Max Homa, Brendan Gray. 10:39 is JJ Spawn, Chad Ramey, Webb Simpson, Luke List, Kevin Kisner, Matt Kuchar. 10:50, Andrew Landry, Zach Johnson, Martine Laird, Lucas Herbert, Adam Putnam, Kyung-Gu Lee. 11:01, Patton Kazir, Andrew Novak, Doc Redmond, Hank Lebioda, Henrik Norlander, Kelly Kraft, S.H. Kim. Although Norlander's 11-12, that was my mistake. Kevin Tway, Kyle Stanley, Jason Duffner, Chris Stroud, Scott Brown. 11:23, Grayson Sieg, Scott Piercy, C.T. Pond, Kevin Stradler, Ryan Moore. 11:34, Charlie Hoffman, S.M. Bay, Ben Martin, Ryan Moore. 11:45, Matt Neesmith, Matthias Schmidt, Austin Smotherman, Scott Stevens, Sodi Kodiara. Samuel Stevens, Alex Loren. 11:56, Trevor Cohn, Brandon Matthews, Kevin Roy, Trevor Werblow. 12:07, nobody really of note. 3:05, MJ Dauphe, Callum Tarrant, Max McGreevy, Taylor Pendrith, Brian Stewart, Will McGirt. 3:16, Harry Hall, Austin Eckroat, Matthias Schwab, Austin Cook, Taylor Gainey. 3:27, Ben Taylor, Alex Badley, Grayson Chalmers, Peter Malnati. 3:38, Sahith Thiglia, Justin Thomas, J.B. Holmes, Troy Merritt, Robert Streb. 3:49, Nate Hardy, Tyler Duncan, Cam Davis, Chesner V, Scott Stallings, Mackenzie Hughes. 4 o'clock, Richie Wierenski, Nicholas Echevarria, Stuart Singh, Joaquim Herman, Lucas Griffin, Brendan Todd. 4:11, Stefan Yeager, Doug Gibb, Jimmy Walker, Kevin Strillman, Matt Trainer. 4:22, Eric Cole, Kramer Hickok, Taylor Montgomery, Davis Thompson, Russell Knox, Zach Blair. 4:33, Vincent Whaley, Robbie Shell, and Justin Sue, Cam Percy, Jason Hadley. 4:44, Sam Ryder, Nate Lashley, Christian Ziedenhout, Bryce Garnett, Ben Crane, Adam Long. 4:55, Harry Higgs, Mark Hubbard, Justin Lauer, Nate Watney, James Hahn. 5:06, Estelonzo Goya, Scott Harrington, Kevin Westmoreland, Michael Glidgick, Brent Grant. And 5:17, nobody of significance. All right, so this was a hard pick for me for who to pick. For a 1/10 of a unit, I am going to go with I'm going to keep it easy. Justin Thomas, 16-1. Just an easy bet. He's due. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. We will start with football. Obviously, Rodgers is done for the year. And now the Jets are looking for a veteran quarterback to have on the roster. The Athletic reported it, so it's Diana Rossini probably. I talked about all the options. The best option is Tom, but it's going to be a lot to convince him to come out of retirement. But realistically, to get him to the postseason, I think Gardner Minshew would be a nice option for them. I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to cut it. So they have some interesting options. And how about this? Colin Kaepernick's agent reached out to the Jets about an NFL return. That's where the Jets should not go. Colin Kaepernick would just create a mess there because it's way too much drama. He hasn't played in 5 years, and quite frankly, he might be the worst option that the Jets could actually have because of how long it's been since he's played. And, he hasn't been relevant in the NFL in almost 10 years now. How about this? The Seattle Seahawks are signing 41-year-old Jason Peters. Does he still have it is the question. He helped Dallas last year, and we'll see if he helps Seattle. I think that was just a panic move because of them losing last week and their offensive line not being in great shakes. Panthers assigned Tariq Cohen to the practice squad, last played in 2020. Interesting pickup. We'll see how that goes. NFL executive defense turf has no statistical difference in injury data going back to 2015 for Achilles injuries suffered on natural grass. So that's interesting. Panthers corner J.C. Horn expected to miss multiple weeks. That is a big loss for the Carolina Panthers. Sad news is that Mike Williams passes away at the age of 36 after he was taken off life support on Thursday after his construction accident. And he played for the Bucs, the Bills, and the Chiefs. That's sad news. Thoughts and prayers to Mike Williams' family, and his former teammates, those teams. I remember him. He was a decent player. And that's just really, really sad. And then the NFL Players Association wants grass fields as Executive Director Lloyd Howell calls on the league to eliminate artificial turf. The easiest decision, they say. Zach Wilson's brother, Isaac, tops high school passing as he leads the nation in passing with over 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns through 5 games. So that's interesting. Colorado's recruiting is skyrocketing as Coach Prime says the team's getting an absurd amount of calls following its 2-0 start. Hey, that's what that does for you in college sports. Like, if you're a surprise team and you're well coached, you get recruits. I mean, you see it happen all the time in college sports. Like, you go on a nice, relevant run like Boise State did back in its heyday. And you've seen good examples of it all throughout college sports. And then Gonzaga continues to recruit well in basketball, so you see it all the time. Bama, Texas was the most viewed game of last weekend. Nearly 9 million viewers watched it, barely edging out Colorado, Nebraska. One more ramification of the Rodgers injury that the Packers will not get the Jets' first-round pick in 2024. So the Rodgers injury, not great for the Packers, low-key, as they lose out on a first-round pick. So instead they get a second-round pick. But who knows? If they stick with Zach Wilson the whole year and they go like 7-10, that might be a decent second-round pick. Brianna Wilson named WNBA Player of the Year. She beat out Aja Wilson by 1 vote. Stewie should win MVP too. She's the best player in the WNBA. She's the reason why the Liberty are a contender, although they have a loaded team. But her impact has been amazing on that team. And I know Aja Wilson is the best player on the team that had the best record, so I understand Aja's case, but I think it should be Stewie. The Kings are waiving Nerlens Noel and Nemias Queta after signing JaVale McGee. So those are two now free agent centers that we have. Some baseball news. O'Neal Cruz done for the season after he broke his leg. He'll turn his focus to next year. That's not great for the Pirates. The Padres shut down Yu Darvish for the year with an elbow injury. They're out of it, so why continue to throw him out there? Max Scherzer has a tricep sprain as he exited after 5 1/3 against the Blue Jays. He actually wasn't bad in that game. He got the win, but we'll see about that injury. And the big baseball news from yesterday is that the New York Mets are hiring David Stearns, former Brewers executive, joining the Mets as president of baseball ops. So, great hire for the Mets. And now Stearns has a lot of decisions to make, and we'll see what direction they go in. Do they run it back and try to improve the team to get back to a contender status, or they go the other way and blow it up and rebuild? The Mets have two options, so they're an unknown a little bit right now. So the Mets hired a good guy to do it in Stearns. He is the one that built the Brewers into a somewhat of a perennial playoff team in the National League. And let's see if he could build the Mets to greater places than to where he built the Brewers. Jose Altuve has not talked extension. He is set to be a free agent after 2024. That's not great. There was 29 scouts that watched Yoshinobu Yamamoto throw a no-hitter in Japan. So that's someone that we're keeping an eyes on this winter. And the Dodgers are promoting Kyle Hurt, 145 strikeouts in the minors this year, and will work out of the bullpen. So we'll see how that goes. The NHL is open to an Atlanta return as the league is not ruling out a potential expansion in Atlanta for a third time. Wow. I will just keep the league at 32 teams, but maybe somebody moves. Maybe the Coyotes go there or something. Maybe somebody else moves there down the road. Devin Booker down for Team USA as he responds directly to Kuz's tweet. So we'll see about Team USA come next year. It looks like we might get LeBron, Durant, Booker, Curry. That would be a loaded team. That's like win or bust right there. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. A much shorter podcast than yesterday, which is good. So, best bet's only going to be a 1/10 of a unit. And I am going to do the under 9 in the Astros-A's game. They've been low-scoring games this whole series. I don't know what happened to the Astros offense. They might get swept in the series, which is absurd. But I refuse to go with Oakland. So I'm going under 9, minus 115, a 1/10 of a unit between the A's and the Astros, under 9, minus 115. Okay, so that's it for the podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We have a Thursday night game to pick, and we have some college games to pick as well. So that should be a lot of fun. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.